Hello, everyone, and welcome to this pick a card reading. I hope you are so well. So, today I have such an exciting reading because I have received the message that your next quantum rebirth is here. It has finally arrived. And the way that this was shown to me is that you have been doing a lot of work consistently over a long period of time and maybe wondering, where is this all going? Is this having any effect? And Spirit saying you're about to see the results all come in at once. And it's going to feel like you step forward, in leaps and bounds. Like you've been feeling stalled and stuck. And then all of a sudden you take off, okay? And you reach a new destination. So Spirit wants me to do an extended pick a card reading looking into your next quantum rebirth, what this is going to look like for you. And yeah, really any messages that Spirit wants to come through with. So we have 3 different groups to choose from. Group number 1 is Antelope Spirit, Life is Speeding Up. Group number 2 is Stag Spirit, Take the Lead. And group number 3 is Squirrel Spirit, Believe in Yourself. So you can pause the video if you want to have some more time to connect with the cards and pick which group you are. You can also pick more than one group if that feels appropriate. I'll list the timestamps down below and then I will see you for your reading. Hello, group 1, and welcome to your reading. Okay, so you chose Antelope Spirit, Life is Speeding Up, and this is what your quantum rebirth is going to feel like. It's going to feel like all of a sudden, things just sped up and you're going so fast. I feel like there's been an energy that may have been feeling really stuck. It may have been feeling like there's not been a lot of action or movement lately, even though I feel that you have been putting in, maximum effort or the same amount of effort. It feels like there was something that felt quite mysterious here. I'm noticing the number 2 here on this card, and it makes me think of the High Priestess, okay? The High Priestess is sort of silent and kind of secretive, and there's a lot of things that happen internally with the High Priestess. So this is what I'm feeling for you, is that you've been in a kind of a High Priestess energy where something has been kind of hidden from you. There's been a lot that's been working in your subconscious. This may have been playing out a lot in your dreams, actually, or even in like the subtle messages that kind of like come through and like bleed through into our reality. Like you may have had really I'm seeing kind of strange things, like different signs or omens that have actually been predicting this from coming in. Like you may have been seeing different birds. For some reason, I'm seeing birds. I'm seeing like taking flight. I'm seeing that you're taking flight, like you're about to take off, like you're about to fly. I'm seeing a bird taking flight. This is one of your symbols or your signs right now. Spirit saying, look out for birds taking flight, and also really almost like tune into that energy. What does that feel like when the bird like moves and they use all of this momentum to like push themselves up as they flap their wings? If you like slowed it down and you saw the like physics of what's happening. For some reason, this is what Spirit's showing me, is like almost this bird taking off in slow motion, and to kind of like see the fine motor like skills that it takes, because I feel like this is what you're about to do. You've been like stationary even though you've been a bird, okay? You're capable of flying, you know how to fly, but there's been some kind of a time period where you've needed to be stationary in some way. And with the High Priestess energy coming through your reading, is that I feel like this has all been in alignment, okay? It may not have always been comfortable to feel like you're a bit stuck, but there's actually been a purpose to this, and it's actually been moving you forwards in a different kind of way. I feel like there's been so much work that you've been doing in your subconscious. Like you've been pushing, you've been really working yourself. Like I feel like you've been putting in so much effort, and there may have even been this thought in you of like, how much more effort can I even put in? Like, is this even going to go anywhere? And the thing is that there's been so much movement, so much changing at a really deep, like cellular level. So I really feel like you're about to see that. You're about to see this. And I feel like there may have even been other omens that Spirit's been showing you. Like there's been a lot of signs and synchronicities about this quantum rebirth for you. I feel like this quantum rebirth has been coming in for a while, and you've been knowing that it's been coming in for some time. And I feel like you may even have like people come on your path and like offer messages, like be a messenger on your path. Like a stranger, you might bump into them and they say something really pertinent to something that you've been thinking about. Or you like walk past someone and you catch a glimpse of their conversation and they say something that feels like a message from God, There's something like this where Spirit's saying like there's been a lot of messages and omens. But there has still, I feel like, maybe been some fear within you of like, is anything going to change, or is anything even happening? Okay. So the other thing that really stood out to me about your card is the antlers on this antelope spirit. See how they almost look like a DNA symbol? Like the double helix. Like there's something about this that feels like you've been working at a really almost like ancestral level. I feel like you've been clearing ancestral karma and clearing ancestral energy. And this is why it may have felt really, really slow or stuck. It really feels like this quantum rebirth is going to be something that you felt really held back in suddenly releases and you almost fling forwards. Okay. It's sort of like giving me a slingshot energy because I'm really seeing someone taking flight. I'm also seeing an airplane taking off. Okay. Maybe there's something to do with an airplane about your quantum rebirth. Maybe you're going to be taking a ride in an airplane. Something about the airport might be coming through. But I just really feel like it's also could just be symbolic of like you're finally really taking flight, taking off. But it feels almost like a slingshot, like there's been some kind of ancestral karma, like that's really deep in your lineage and even in your DNA, your bloodlines. And it's been holding you back, but it's sort of been holding you back a little bit like a slingshot and you didn't know it. Where it's like you've been pulled back, pulled back, pulled back, and you're like, why do I have to go backwards? Or why am I, having to go through all this ancestral karma stuff? And then all of a sudden you're like released from it. And it's like, okay, you did it, you healed it, you alchemized it. Like you're a really powerful emotional alchemist. And I feel like you're actually used to alchemizing things quite quickly. You're used to it being faster. So I feel like there's been some aspect of this life with some kind of ancestral karma that you've been dealing with that DNA energy that may have felt like, gosh, it's just so never ending. But this rebirth is really going to make you feel like, wow, it's actually been paying off. Like what I've been doing is paying off. And I feel like it may also come in at a time when you most need it, when you realize, I couldn't have gone on any longer in the way that I was because I feel like you really were reaching a point of burnout where it's like you can only put so much effort in without getting something back. Like it does reach kind of a limit. And it's not that you weren't getting anything back. It's just that what the work was happening in the hidden realms, right? It was happening in the subconscious, beneath the surface. You might have, like I said, been shown this though through your conscious life, through symbols, signs, omens, messengers that come on your path in some way. Yeah, I do feel actually a very dream-like energy with you. I feel like there's very dreamy kind of energy where I feel like a lot of energy might have been working out in your dreams. Even if you don't remember them, keep in mind, like, I don't actually believe that we have to remember all of our dreams for them to be extremely significant. Oftentimes, I find we will remember the ones that we most need to work with, that spirit really wants us to work with, but then there's still like just infinite amounts that are being processed without our memory. Even if, sometimes you can just wake up in the morning and just feel a little bit like, something like was stirring overnight, even if you can't quite place what it was. So I feel like there's been a lot of this energy, a lot of like motion and commotion. Like I'm seeing like the ocean. Ocean, motion. I'm seeing like, yeah, this waves like churning and like a lot of movement like in the sea. Like I'm seeing the subconscious has been really processing things and like moving things through. But yeah, it does really feel like now is go time. Life is speeding up. Things you've been waiting for are finally coming in. You have definitely earned this. And there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. This is why this is definitely not coming out of nowhere, you guys. This is coming after a long period of hard work where you've had to be really stable and diligent in what you've been working on. All right, so I want to get the astro dice for you and astro, of course, the astro dice. I want to get the astro dice for you and find out what is your quantum rebirth. Oh my God, Jupiter! Yes! Jupiter in Sagittarius, no way. Oh my God, your luck. Your luck. You're finally going to feel lucky again. Oh, hold on, I'll just move these. There you go. You're finally going to feel lucky again, group one. I feel like, I feel a sigh of relief actually in my chest. I feel like I just released something then when I tuned into the energy that's coming in for you. I feel like when this comes in, this quantum rebirth, it might come in through message, like it might come through communication of some form, like someone gives you a message or tells you something, tells you some kind of news. That's just for some of you, but it's going to feel like things release kind of all at once, like a slingshot. Like you're kind of like, boom, it just releases. And you are gonna feel so much relief. Yeah, of course, the Sagittarius, it's the archer, right? The bow and arrow. It's like you pull it back and then you release it and it hits its bullseye. Wow, Jupiter as well. Jupiter and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled over by the planet Jupiter. So that's a really strong connection and it really does signify really good luck. I feel like this is your luck returning. You're going to feel like, finally, I got my lucky break. I finally got my lucky break. Fifth house as well is about passion, purpose, creative self-expression, your unique perspective, opinions. It's also about romance, children, inner child, the joy of like the joy of our inner child, this kind of thing. So I feel like there's something here as well about this quantum rebirth is going to bring kind of like laughter back into your life, like some sort of a sense of fun returns to your life after things have been, I feel like things have been quite full on. Just because it was, you were reaching kind of a point of, I feel like some form of a burnout there situation. So I feel like you really need this energy to restore you. I feel like the way that you're going to be restored is through fire. It's actually through the element of fire, which is really interesting, you guys, because I feel like that the way that this restoration energy is going to come in with this quantum rebirth is that you're going to have so much energy, so much life force. You might actually need less sleep. There's something keeps coming through about sleep and dreams and your ancestors and things like that. But you might actually need less sleep when this quantum rebirth comes in because you're going to be fueled by the fire element and you're going to have extreme amounts of life force energy in your body to the point that you might even need to like exercise to release some of this energy. You might need to go for a run or you might need to dance it out, like do some do some like full on ecstatic dancing or something. Actually, I'm seeing that some of you might be ecstatic dancing about some news that you received, like if you receive your dream job or I don't know, some kind of opportunity. I'm seeing some kind of like ecstatic dance celebration. All right, beautiful. But yeah, it does feel like Spirit wants to put, I suppose, this into context of like where this quantum rebirth is coming for you in particular, because I feel like if you know, then maybe you can feel more like you can repeat it in the future. Because I feel like sometimes when things manifest with the feminine is we can feel like I have no idea where this even came from or like what it even was that I particularly did that made this happen. Because the feminine can be so mysterious, and it can kind of like elude us. Like Spirit wants you to know that the key here to this quantum rebirth has been something to do with your DNA. I just feel the DNA energy from these antlers so strongly. It's like you have rewired something in your DNA and you have cleared some kind of a karmic ancestral imprint. Yeah, it's like an imprint from your ancestors that was very karmic and it was somehow creating this restriction energy in your life. And you have sort of been working really deeply on a subconscious level to release this and remove this obstruction and this block. And as soon as that block and that obstruction is gone, it's like, boom, you just catapult into your true self, your truest vibration. Because it's almost like this was something else that was like woven into your DNA. This is just how I'm being shown it at a spiritual level, you guys. But I'm almost seeing there's been like threads woven into your DNA that like weren't you, okay? And that they were always kind of meant to be alchemized and dissolved and then removed. Yeah, you're a really powerful emotional alchemist and you've been doing inner alchemy work in order to have this quantum rebirth take place. You guys, if you want a tape that would really support you right now, I feel like Dreamtime Ancestral Clearing is just such an obvious choice. It just feels like it just is so perfect for this. Dreamtime Ancestral Clearing, it's like a really, really powerful light language transmission, you guys. I looped it for an hour so it can be used as a sleep tape or just at a much deeper level. It really gets into the cells, into the DNA, and it works with ancestral imprints to release us from karmic burdens and things like this through light language working at a subconscious level. If there is a tape, like if you are thinking about getting a tape, that is the one that I would so recommend tuning into your energy right now. It feels like it would be really supportive. And I also feel like that tape is just one of my most powerful ones. There's something about it that just, it's just really strong. So yeah, I feel like I'll link it down below, read more about it, but I would really recommend it. Okay, you guys, I'm going to get you some more cards. Let's tune in, Spirit with Group 1. The next quantum rebirth is here. King of Pentacles. Yes! You guys, I can't help but be so exuberant right now because I feel this energy for you is such a victory. It feels like a hard-won victory. Like you earned this. You earned every second and every ounce of this success that you're receiving. That's what Spirit also wants you to know, is that you so earned this. Look at this. This is the energy that you're coming from. The Ten of Swords. That's right. You totally earned this. The Knight of Wands, there's that fire energy that I was seeing. You're going to be restored through the energy of fire. The Five of Cups, I'm going to put this on the other side of my table. All right, so I'm going to put this one here, Five of Cups, because this feels like the energy that you have been working within, okay? This feels like a very much like the context of where you're coming from and why this feels like such a big deal, right? The Five of Cups, the Ten of Swords is actually very, very much about ancestral energy as I'm tuning in. This feels like it's your ancestral energy because it's the things that was like the final things that you had to overcome. I feel like you're actually a very, 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 very like a high level soul and very high vibrational being. And this is why I was saying that those threads were kind of like in your DNA that weren't you, that were meant to be dissolved, because once these obstacles are dissolved, once those threads that were meant to be alchemized are, you have nothing holding you back from your true self. and your vibration will just skyrocket, and you're going to be vibrating so high that honestly, you're going to have to learn how to ground this, you guys. This is going to be the number one challenge of this quantum rebirth is, can you ground it? Okay. Because it's so high vibrational. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing ecstatic dance. You know, like when people get into complete flow state with their dance and it's just like so much energy vibrating through their body. It's almost like Kundalini activation here. So yes, that's right. The King of Pentacles, I feel like, is about grounding. I feel like that one of the ways that this is actually going to ground you is that you're going to make more money. This is interesting. I feel like you're going to actually make more money, and that's going to have a grounding impact on your life. I do feel this fire energy is going to be enormous. I want to say it's going to be enormous. It's going to take over your life. Your energy is going to be so revitalized. You're going to feel so reborn. You're going to feel like the phoenix. That's it. But it's not through pain this time, you guys. The pain has already been. It's in the past, okay? It's really in the past. You know, when you read tarot, you can often, I like to read it anyway, and other people do as well. You can read it from left is the past, like this side of the is the past, and then it goes to the future on this side, okay? So that's what I'm kind of feeling is like, this is the energy that you've been moving through. And then you're coming into this. Yeah, look, these two energies mirror each other. It's like, like moving forwards really, really fast and with a lot of life force energy and a lot of passion, a lot of exuberance. It feels so powerful. But then there will come a point where you realize, wow, I actually have to really ground this energy, the King of Pentacles. I have to be able to ground this because it's so high vibrational, and maybe, you know, you're struggling to get enough sleep, but you're struggling to kind of ground it into the physical plane. It feels like electricity, like coursing through your body, like creating like such a high vibrational energy, and it's going to feel good. It's going to feel like a massage, you know, it's going to feel like a phoenix rebirth, but through pleasure, like not through pain. It's not going to be a painful one, okay? It's really going to be a pleasurable one. And you're going to feel like you come out the other side and you're like, wow, I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. I can't believe that all of this was like waiting in store for me. And I feel like you're going to realize as well that if you knew what was waiting, then I feel like you wouldn't have felt so dark from the past. It's almost like you didn't realize how good things were going to get. Okay, so let's get some more. No way, you guys, the Ace of Wands. That's how it's going to feel. Like such a spark of new life, like so much inspiration, so much life force energy. Let's get you one more card, Spirit, one more card. Oh, the Nine of Cups. You guys, this is a wish coming true. This is why I feel so much happiness. It's like, it's just going to feel undeniably. Yeah, look, back of the deck is the Magician. You're just going to feel like undeniably you manifested this. The Magician, you manifested this. You manifested something magical. And it's going to give you, I feel like, some kind of new, almost like a renewed hope or a renewed sense of knowing yourself and knowing that things, like, it's almost like you're going to feel like God is good. You know, that feeling like, oh, the universe is good, like God is good, instead of God is all punishing or the universe is always, you know, working against me. It's like some kind of a paradigm shift where I feel like you're going to get back in touch with your luck. I feel like something about your luck was kind of being kept from you, or something about it wasn't quite aligning. But this fire is surging through and it's like roaring up and it's bringing you up into such a high vibrational energy. And you're going to feel like, wow, I'm like the luckiest person I know. And I think that's going to make you feel really good because there's something where you weren't fully claiming this for yourself. And the way that things come in now is going to be like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is a renewal. This is a rebirth in terms of your stability, your finances in particular, I feel like. This could be like elevating to a new level financially, or with your career, with your job, with your living situation or your physical body, your physical health, your energy levels finally coming back to you. It's going to definitely feel like a very tangible new beginning with the Ace of Wands. Yeah, you're definitely going to know that it's a new beginning, that's for sure. There's going to be something very, very new about it. Like I kept seeing the airplane taking off, right? So it's almost like you're going to be going to a new destination. Some of you are actually going to be moving house or moving to a new place or something like this, moving to a new job, moving to a new something, new environment in some way. Yeah, and it's going to feel absolutely like a wish come true. The Nine of Cups is our wishes coming true. Ladybird is also luck. Ladybird, that's what they're called, right? Or a ladybug. Interesting. Ladybird. Yeah, these ones. Okay. they they are symbolizing luck. And then on the Nine of Cups, it's like you're going to feel very lucky in the way that your wishes come true. But it's also because of the context of what you've been coming from. Five of Cups, Ten of Swords. That's been heavy and dense energies that you've been emotionally alchemizing. And you've been doing so with the help, I want to say, of your ancestors. I feel like your ancestors have been with you, surrounding you, helping you, and guiding you to basically be released. To be released, and also to help all those who share your DNA. Wow, I've never actually heard this before. I'm seeing it's particularly in the DNA. It's like as you shift your DNA, it's going to unravel certain knots in other people's. It's really interesting. Even if you're not even in contact with these people, it's very, 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 very interesting. Wow. All right, you guys, that's all we really have time for, but I really hope you enjoyed your reading. Like I said, that Dreamtime Ancestral Clearing, man, I would definitely recommend that for you. I'll link it down below, but I feel like it could be a really supportive tape for you right now and just moving forwards into the future. I would personally recommend that you listen to it as a sleep tape because I find that that would really, like, that is one of the ways I intended for it to be worked with, but also because of what came through in your reading, particularly about sleep and the subconscious and so much going on at night. I feel like it could be a really restorative way, yeah, of working with it and just helping to keep things clearing out because, yeah, this is an enormous rebirth for you. This is not a subtle one. This is a big one. So if you want to claim that energetic support, I'll link it down below. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Take care. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading. I hope you are so well. So you chose Nina as your group. Nina's surprised. Nina, but you are actually embodying the energy yet again. Perfect. You are the perfect model because we have Stag Spirit take the lead, okay? I feel a really strong crown chakra energy here. I'm going to put this down, Nina. Right. I feel a really strong crown chakra energy here, and Nina actually has a really strong crown chakra as well, and she does symbolize independence. And I feel like there's something about your quantum leap where it's going to make you much more independent, or it's going to put you into a much bigger role as a leader in some way, in some form. And it is going to shake up and sort of stir up your life. Yeah, I'm feeling like there's a lot of leadership energy here where you almost spirit saying like weren't able to move forwards into a certain area or a certain way until you were internally okay with your leadership energy. All right. So there's been some kind of resolution. Hey, Nina. There's been some kind of resolution to your leadership, and it feels like you're really okay with your leadership more now. It feels like there's something, even if you're still maybe consciously sometimes like apprehensive about it, because it does feel like you're taking on a really big role. This quantum leap feels like you're really being put into your power in some kind of way. Like you're really going to be standing in your power in a different kind of way than you have before. And it might kind of feel like something that you previously didn't feel like you were ready for. That's the kind of energy. It feels like a stretch. It feels like you're being stretched into something that you previously maybe did not feel like you were ready for, or that just previously maybe just did not fully like take root or take off in some way. And now it does. And now it's like you're being given the responsibility. It's like you're being given the keys to the kingdom, the keys to the castle, the keys to the kingdom. There's something where it's like you're being given the rights, you're being given the responsibility, you're being given guardianship over something. I just adjusted the shot so you can actually see Nina a little bit more. Because, yeah, she is modeling this energy of your quantum rebirth. It feels like you're going to become a lot more independent. It feels like you're going to be able to choose a lot more. You know, like how cats choose if they want to be around you or if they want their own, their own space. There's something where it's like you're getting an upgrade and you're also going to be the one who's the leader or who's the boss or who's the one in charge instead of you having to take orders, okay? There's something where energies are rearranging and, yeah, you're becoming the boss. And I feel like this is actually going to rearrange your relationships in some way. I feel like things actually will change a bit in your relationships. And this might have been the reason that you maybe weren't fully okay internally with your leadership, because I feel like being a leader in the way that you're about to be is going to shift things up. It's going to shake things up. It's going to stir things up like quite drastically. The way this quantum rebirth, I feel like, is going to show up for you as well is that it's going to feel like there was once resistance and now there isn't. Like it's going to almost be like air. Like I'm feeling like the element of air, you know, when there's no resistance in the air and you can just like push through. Whereas if you're in water or something, you know, there's a lot of resistance, you know, against swimming. I'm sort of seeing like you're putting your hand through the air and there's like no resistance. You can just like go straight through. There's something about this where it's like there's nothing between you and your goals or nothing between you and your destiny now. There's like air. It's just air. You can walk right through. Whereas before there was like some kind of a solid, you know, wall almost that was keeping you between you and your destiny. So I feel like, yeah, you've done some kind of internal alchemy and you've dissolved this wall. And now it's like you're ready to really step into some kind of leadership and you're going to be given more responsibility in some way. You're going to be given the keys. You're going to be given, I don't know, like some form of wearing a different hat, like being in a different role, one where you have guardianship over others, or you are a leader or a boss, or you have more responsibility because there are more people listening to you or something like this. There's something where you're really going to feel the leadership energy, but you're also going to feel a newfound sense that you're ready for it. Like, you're not going to feel so much this apprehension around this leadership, because this is the inner alchemy work that you've done to receive this quantum rebirth, is that I feel like you have really activated your crown chakra. I feel like your crown chakra is really, really powerful and really ready for this role. It's really ready for this responsibility. Like, I feel like you've really disconnected from certain things that may have been holding you back in regards to something to do with crown chakra energies. Like, I feel like there's something here where you didn't want to, yeah, you didn't want to stand out or be too bright. Look at that. Look at that crown. Look at that crown that the stag spirit has. And look at Nina. She's right. She is your reading. Nina is your reading. You don't even need cards because it's just Nina. That's confidence, man. I feel like there's something here where you're going to be wearing a crown. You're going to be wearing a crown and everyone is going to be seeing you, okay? And this has been something that you've had some kind of apprehension about. It's like, should I really wear this crown? Look at this. Look at these antlers. They're like completely, decorated. There's something here about this crown that you're going to be wearing. It's like you're finally like being anointed. There's something where, yeah, it's going to feel really right, and you're not going to have this intense resistance to it anymore. There's going to be a sense of detachment where you're not really caring so much about other people's reactions to you. You're just kind of doing what you're here to do, or being who you've come here to be. Yeah, it's going to feel really natural. Like, this is just always how things were meant to be somehow. I feel like this quantum rebirth is going to feel like almost like a rebirth in your sense of yourself, like who you really are, and definitely in how other people see you, okay? This is like a birth of a new version of yourself into the world, the one where you're much sort of more okay with taking up space, being in a leadership energy. I feel like this quantum rebirth could also involve some kind of a shedding of an old version of you, and that might also mean that you're letting go of certain relationships that aren't resonating with this new version of you, because I feel like this version of you is much more authentic and it's much more bold, and you're much more okay with taking up space and sort of like being heard or being seen or telling the truth, or, you know, doing things that for some reason in the past you felt a lot more resistance to. So now it's like there's no resistance, like that air, right? There's no resistance, just pure air between you and your desires. So you can just reach out and grab it so easily. And I feel like you're going to realize that any kind of attachments to relationships that don't allow you to be that version of you is sort of not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I feel like there's a real shedding. It's like a releasing of attachments to things that in the past maybe made you feel safe, like a version of you that made you feel safe because maybe people liked you more, you know. But there's something about it where you were actually just censoring a lot of you, like a huge parts of you. Okay, so Nina has finished blessing you with the reading. I feel like Nina was super loving during that. She wanted to give you some love, I feel like. Yeah, but it does. She is just that perfect energy of independence. She has a very strong crown chakra. She likes having time alone. And she's certainly not a people pleaser, okay? She's gonna do something because she wants to do it, not because you want her to do it. And I feel like that's definitely the energy that you're embodying. Let's get you to Astro Dive. So Spirit, tuning into group 2, the next quantum rebirth that is here for them right now. Sagittarius again! Nice. Group 1 has Sagittarius. It feels perfect for this quantum rebirth because Sagittarius is the bow and the arrow, right? The archer pulls back and the arrow, and then releases it and it hits the bullseye. This is the energy of the quantum rebirth, the quantum leap that I was tuning into. It's like sometimes you feel like you're being pulled back, but then you get released and you move forwards like 3 steps, So there's something here about skipping a step. You're going to skip a step with the Sagittarius energy. You're going to feel like, well, did I skip a step? Oh. Wow, Nina, hello. You're going to feel like, wow, did I skip a step? Did I skip something? Then we have 8th house and we have the South Node, right? So the 8th house and the South Node is really interesting energy. That's really about emotional alchemy. There's been a huge amount of emotional alchemy that you have done in order to receive this level of independence, this level of self-love. Yeah, Nina, you're really embodying the self-love now, I feel like, as well, because that's what keeps Nina so independent, is that she has her own source of love. Like, me and her have a really strong connection, of course, but she also channels her own connection to source. She also has her own connection to spirit. She's her own sovereign being, and she can also access a lot of energy for herself. So there's something here about this where you're going to really maybe need to have more boundaries sometimes with your relationships. I feel like relationships is going to be the thing that really gets shaken up the most by this quantum rebirth, because who you are fundamentally feels different. Like the way that you're showing up. The eighth house actually talks about rebirth. Yeah, also rebirth. Especially sort of like through emotional alchemy work, through seeing our shadows or seeing our fears and confronting them and growing and expanding beyond who we think that we are or what we think that we're capable of. And South Node energy is that resistance that I was feeling where there can be energy from the past that we can have a lot of resistance to. That's why I was saying that now it feels like between you and your goals or you and your dreams, there's just air. So you can just reach out and grab it, right? But before there was like a brick wall and there was so much resistance to get through that. But I'm also feeling like with the South Node that this is also about your innate gifts and talents that you have within you at a soul level. You have hidden gifts and hidden talents. And one of your gifts is actually leadership. And I feel like there's been some kind of a journey towards this because I feel like you might have been more of a reluctant leader. Okay. Basically, that the best leaders are reluctant leaders, whether you don't necessarily want the attention or they don't necessarily want, to everyone to be known or everyone to know them or to be famous or something. They kind of I feel reluctance, but they do it because of a sense of being of service or a sense of destiny or a sense of having a calling. Like, this is what I get to do. I know I'm meant to do this. So I need to kind of get out of my comfort zone or, put my fears aside and grow beyond this, expand beyond this. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling is basically the crux of this rebirth is that you are expanding beyond some kind of a reluctance to be putting yourself out there or being really in a leadership position. And it feels like as well with me, this energy, gosh, man, you have such a charm. She just looked at me with these closed eyes. And this is the energy again, what I'm feeling for you is that you have such a power over people. You actually have a very strong, commanding energy, a very charismatic energy, a very magnetic energy because you have this very, very, very developed crown chakra where you actually are quite detached from others. I feel like this is actually going to be your superpower moving forward. It's going to make you so magnetic because you are thinking the same way as other people. Crown chakra energy is originality. It's like you're thinking your own thoughts. You're going your own way. You're not being swayed by peer pressures or, collective belief systems, things like this. You're really thinking outside the box and thinking for yourself in a very original way. And you're also, I feel like, really much better with the social, like not letting social energies kind of keep you small or keep you from claiming your crown. Okay. There's been some kind of social structural stuff. There's been some kind of social dynamics that you've always had to overcome from your past, South Node, and sort of like face some kind of deep fears, eighth house, in order to expand. Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius is like, let's expand so far, beyond what we know. Let's adventure forever, Yeah. So I feel like this is going to bring you a real sense of being revitalized, like feeling really energized even by your life again, feeling really inspired by your life. I feel like if you're doing some kind of work, like the leadership talks about your work, for some of you, this leadership could actually talk about becoming a parent or something like this, taking on responsibility for something. It could be that it's almost like you're finally taking yourself really seriously in some way as well, maybe with your work or your voice or your art, or you're taking yourself seriously because you're like, you know what, I can actually achieve this thing. I can, buy my own house or build my own house. There's something here about you're realizing what you're capable of and you're realizing that you are the one that has to kind of be bold and make the first move and claim this. Yes, it feels like this energy of claiming. You're claiming your crown. You're claiming your crown. Okay. And it feels really powerful. I feel like there's also something you've cleared some kind of a fear around being seen now. And I feel like you're actually going to enjoy being seen because this card. Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I can't get the card because yeah, I mean, there's way too much on it. But the card with the stag spirit, like the antlers, there was so much decoration on his antlers. And I feel like that this is you like really decorating yourself, like really allowing yourself to be seen, really realizing like, yeah, what I have is worthwhile or what I have is worth being shared or spoken about or something like this. It's like you're sort of giving yourself approval. That's the energy of the crown chakra as well, is that it's this form of like self-approval that allows you to be very independent. Because when we are very like insecure and caring so much about what other people think of us, that can sometimes trigger root chakra energies of scarcity and wanting to sacrifice ourselves in order to belong. Nina's back and forth today. So so I feel like, yeah, this feels sort of like you're not going to be sacrificing yourself. You're not going to be trying to fit in or belong in a certain way. But in doing that, in not trying to belong, it's like you're almost going to belong even more. You're going to feel even more connection, even more sort of a sense of safety in the world. That it's so interesting because it's sort of like when that root chakra insecurity can get triggered and there can be this survival imprinting stuff around human nature. It's like, oh, we want to belong. We don't want to be like ostracized from a group or, seen as weird or, not allowed to be involved. And there's something here where you've really like overcome that. And it feels very interesting because it's like you've cleared some kind of deep fear from the root chakra, just the ancestral level of fear as well. It feels like it probably is deep, like ancestral fear. It could even be fear held like, in the bones. Like there's something that, well, seeing like the bones. So this feels like, yeah, very, very deep levels of fear that you've been alchemizing and like confronting. And in particular, I'm seeing it being triggered by the root chakra instability or the root chakra insecurity of like, oh, I want to fit in, I want to belong, I want to be part of, I want to be part of the group because that means that I'm safe. And in a way, that's true. I mean, humans in history can be brutal to one another if they are seen as different or, ostracized. They can be exiled and all kinds of stuff. So there's something where, yeah, it could actually be from your past life. Wow, I just realized that we literally have the South Node, you guys. So it definitely would be from your past life. Yeah, there's energy here from past life where you knew or you very much experiencing what it meant for it to be unsafe to be seen, or for it to be unsafe to be a leader, a thought leader, a someone who is influencing others, a leader of some kind. There's something here about, yeah, like really, because what is a leader? Like they put themselves out there, and I feel like there's something from past life where it's like you put yourself out there and there was something about it not being safe and it's triggered a really strong root chakra instability or insecurity in this lifetime, okay? Root chakra instability can be that things are unstable, like everything can feel unstable. Money, housing, basic needs. It can feel really hard to just get your basic needs met. There can even be food instabilities and all this kind of stuff can really trigger our basic survival instincts. But the root chakra is also about our basic survival instincts when it comes to social dynamics and relationships, especially within groups or hierarchies, okay? So I feel like, yeah, you've really had to learn through this, like this sort of dynamics. You've really had to grow with this and learn about this because it hasn't like there's been some kind of a journey with the eighth house. The eighth house means that there's something you had to alchemize in order to get to this point. Okay. There's some kind of inner alchemy you had to go through in order to get to this point. You had to transform from one form into another. That's the eight. Transforming from one form into another. You are actually a very, very strong alchemist. And with all this crown chakra energy coming through, it's like I feel that you have really, really conquered the fears. Yeah, look, nine of swords and then the ace of swords. That's literally you're realizing that the fears, eight of swords was in your head. It wasn't actually necessarily, there's something about where there was an illusion. We actually have the devil in the back of the deck, you guys, but I just have to censor it. So we have the devil. Yeah. So the devil on the back of the deck is really interesting because the devil talks about, restrictions and fears and things that we might not be able to see, definitely, but that we, feel like, why do I always feel trapped? Or why do I feel like I can't be confident in this way? That kind of stuff. So I feel like this is the devil's just confirming in the eighth house that it's like, really deep psychological, things that you've had to overcome. And it's no small thing. It's no small thing to reach this level of freedom in your crown chakra. It's actually extremely rare. And that's also another reason why you're going to stand out so much because not many people have this level of freedom in their crown. Not many people are this authentic, original, unique. A lot of people are very, very afraid of sharing this because of like what I said, this root chakra instability and insecurity can get triggered so easily for humans around social dynamics of am I being judged? Am I belonging? Do people, value me? This kind of stuff. And I feel like there's something here where there was a really deep fear in Swords. Like this is genuine fears. But you're going to realize with the Ace of Swords that the fear was actually largely in your mind, not in reality. Okay. This is something that again, eight. Yeah. Look, the eight house, the eight energy. It was something that you were always able to alchemize and overcome, not something that had to play out karmically. Like bad things didn't have to happen to you again in this lifetime to do with being seen and being a leader. Okay. This is your lifetime that you're meant to shine. And it's not going to be something that is traumatic. Okay. It's going to be something that is very rejuvenating to your soul, very, 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 very healing for your soul to have this. And that's the Ace of Swords. You're going to realize this truth. You're going to realize that this is the truth. The truth is that we're here to be a leader. The truth is that there's nothing actually bad going to happen to you for this, okay? Because you're acting in alignment and you've done so much in alchemy work as well. But I just feel like the energy feels really different because this crown chakra, where you're leading from, the place that you're leading from with this crown chakra is so high vibrational and it's very, very, like you have very positive self-image. See the beauty around the antlers, like all of the, decorations. It's like you're really seeing your value, you're seeing your beauty, and you're like, yeah, I want to be seen, or I want to be heard. I want people to hear what I have to say. It feels like very different. A place like it's like you're coming from a place of hiding who you are, your opinions, because you wanted to fit in, and then finding that that never gave you a sense of belonging anyway. And then you're realizing that you're able to shed that was all an illusion, and then being your truest authentic self, even if it does alienate you from certain people, it also magnetizes the right people too. Like you feel so alive, and you feel so alive because you're talking about the truth. The Ace of Swords, it's like you need people you can be honest with. You need people you can be honest with and also authentic with. So let's get you 3 more cards as well. Spirit tuning into group 2, their quantum rebirth. Thank you. The Knight of Swords. Look, it's all swords, you guys. Remember how I said at the beginning of your reading, I'm feeling the element of air, okay? Swords is the element of air. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 swords. That's right, the element of air. It feels like there was once a restriction, right? There was once a resistance, like a brick wall in front of you, and now there's nothing there, and you can just put out your hand and grab it, and there's all that there is between you and that. You and your dreams is air. That's all that's there. Look, the 7 of Cups is your dreams. This is your deepest wish coming true, but it's almost like you had to go on a journey to realize that this was what you wanted. Sometimes our preferences, or like what we think we want, can actually be shaped by fear. And we can think, oh, I'm not inspired to do this thing because it actually deeply scares us. But when we confront our deepest fears, we often will find that on the other side of them is our deepest joy, So I feel like there's something here where maybe you had a really deep fear about putting yourself out there, and then in doing so, you realize that it's actually your greatest joy, that it's actually, something that you love. You might also be someone who's a really powerful speaker or channeler, or you might be someone who's really good at public speaking, like really holding an audience in real life, in person. People might get goosebumps when you speak, or you really hold a room, you hold attention. And this is the part of you that I feel like you're becoming comfortable with again, okay? You were not comfortable about this level of attention. There was something about it that triggered past life energy, the South Node, okay? It triggered past life energy that made you feel like it wasn't safe to be seen and recognized. And now it's like you're really holding on to your power. You're like, you know what? I know how to actually wield this power. I know how to ground this power. I know how to be who I actually am in the world. And I know how to sort of command attention and have that be, yeah, look at that. We have the sun, commanding attention, being seen, shining, being a leader, putting yourself out there, allowing all of this to happen, realizing that you're actually good enough already. You were good enough like forever, from the beginning of time. The Knight of Swords can also talk about subconscious programming that can hold us back, okay? Can hold us back in terms of like what we believe that we're capable of, this kind of thing. So I'm feeling like that's something that's changing as well, is your belief system. Yeah, 8th house can talk about that too. It's like the sun and energy too is like your belief system's aligning more with truth. Look, we have the sun and then the Ace of Swords. Both of those cards talk about truth. They're both talking about aligning with truth. So it's like this leadership energy, this you being comfortable with yourself and being okay with being seen and taking up space and having a voice and having an opinion and having, putting your art out there and sort of like being in the world. That is truth. That is truth. That is alignment for you. That is your destiny. That's actually 7 of Cups, dreams coming true, and the sun, abundance. The more that you are authentic and stepping into this energy as well, the more money that you're going to make, okay? Money hasn't even come into this reading because it feels like it's not even going to be on your mind in the future. It feels like you're going to be working on so many other things, and money is going to be an afterthought because it's always available to you, okay? I'm not seeing insecurity or instability. I'm seeing that the root chakra energy that you may have come from, where there was like a lot of instability or insecurity energies, I feel like that has really been alchemized. The more that you step into this crown and you let yourself be original, unique, different, and like really forge that path for yourself and allow other people to see you as who you really are and then connect with that real sense of community, is like that is the full transformation that I'm seeing for you. Like this is the beginning, this quantum rebirth is the beginning, but it's going to just keep going and going and going for you, okay? This rebirth is just going to kind of feel like it's never ending, and it's going to be this really interesting energy alchemy where you're going to move from this root chakra energy that was really, really unstable, and you're going to shift into a crown energy that is so stable and so regal and so royal. And you're going to be standing there in your crown energy where you're like, yes, this is my crown. Yes. And it's sort of like, you're also like claiming your wisdom, or you're claiming your inherent like knowledge and value in a way where maybe you're kind of like trying to hide from it a little bit in the past, like being like, oh, I don't know that much, or maybe I'm not, that knowledgeable. And Spirit's like, actually, you need to like own this like a crown, own your wisdom and own your knowledge, because you absolutely, absolutely deserve it. You actually might want to check out my Quantum Rebirth light language tape, you guys. I feel like it could be a really powerful tape to support you during this time as you are having such a huge rebirth quantum leap happening. I'll link it down below. And definitely, if you already have that Quantum Rebirth tape, I definitely recommend listening to it. Maybe listen to it every day for a week or something like this and really just get into that energy field. But yeah, thank you so much for supporting my work. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Take care. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose Believe in Yourself, Squirrel Spirit. And I love this energy. It feels like you are going to be rediscovering or discovering for the first time some kind of a hidden gift or talent that you have, like some kind of an innate ability that you have, or you're going to be realizing your own innate abilities and like really believing in yourself. I feel like this quantum rebirth energy is coming because you are putting to rest some kind of criticism or self-judgment that you may have been having, or that you may have even been carrying within you from the voices of others. It doesn't even need to have originated within you. This could be some kind of harsh, critical kind of energy that comes from, some way in which you were raised or some kind of environment in which you were exposed to. So I feel like there's something about this. Spirit wants you to know that you have released some level of self-criticism or like self-judgment that was causing you to feel quite blocked from your self-love at times. So I feel like that has been somewhat resolved. There's something where it's like, I feel like it's been moved, like there's something where it's shifted. And you're going to feel so much appreciation for yourself, so much love for yourself, so much self-love for yourself. And really be witnessing like what you're capable of. I'm really noticing the acorn here in this imagery, and the acorn of course grows into the huge oak tree. So there's something here, it's like you're realizing your actual potential. It's like you're like, wait, what? I was sitting on this like incredible gold mine this whole time. You're realizing that you have been the seed and that everything you need is within you. It's like you're the acorn and you will grow into this magnificent, mighty oak tree. And I feel like that's what you're realizing. You're realizing that it's almost like you're realizing that you were expecting to be an oak tree from the beginning, and you realize that you had to go through your acorn period first. You had to be the acorn so you could sprout and become the tree and take root and grow, and over time become so strong and rooted in who you are. And I feel like that's, a journey that you've been on. It's like you're really, it feels like you're becoming self-actualized, like becoming conscious. It's almost like you become the observer. You realize you are conscious within yourself. Well, it's kind of tripping me out. It's kind of like you're an acorn and then you become self-aware that you are an acorn and you're going to grow into an incredible oak tree and mighty oak tree. There's something here about this. And I'm definitely getting activation with the nuts as well, like the activated nuts. There's something where it's like you're going to be activated and you're going to be growing. You're going to be, nuts hold the information of life for, it's like a seed, it can grow. So it feels, very, very interesting. I want to get you the astral dice, actually. Let's find out Spirit Group 3, their current quantum rebirth. Taurus, first house, Pluto. Wow, yeah, so Pluto, that's the psychological kind of shift that was happening. First house, that is your self-image, the way that you see yourself, the way you see what you're capable of as well. And then Taurus, that's stability. It feels sort of like you're realizing how strong you are with Taurus, because Taurus makes me think of like the bull, that can pull very heavy loads. It's like you're realizing like, wait, I am strong, I am invincible, I am mighty, I am going to grow into something so incredible, and so magnificent as well. This feels like a really powerful sense of self-love, but it's really coming from a place of, believing in yourself and realizing what you actually are capable of. It feels like you're going to feel very, very in love with yourself. Some of you might be realizing some kind of, like, it might be specific skills or talents that you didn't realize you had, but for others of you, this could be more just generalized, like you're realizing the value of you, like how you are, who you are, and your potential and what you're growing into. It's like, it's more about the growth process, though, has started. I'm seeing the activation. There's something like where it's already begun. We have the Death card coming out as your first tarot card. Wow. How powerful is that? That is, again, Pluto, Scorpio, Death, very connected energies together. So it feels like, you are really transforming and overcoming something. And who you are is going to feel very different. It's going to look very different. But there is also something where it does feel kind of slow going. With the acorn, it takes a while to grow. And then, of course, as well with the Death card, for those of you who know tarot, Death is more of a slower, transformative process. It can take longer time. So I feel like there's something here about time. It feels as well like the water element is really strong in your reading. I'm feeling like the way that this quantum rebirth is going to come into your life is going to feel like water. I feel like it's going to flow through your life like water. and you're going to realize like, wow, this energy in me has, started to flow. It's going to feel like this love energy in you has just started to flow. I'm seeing like a pool that was stagnant, and then it starts, rain comes and it starts to turn into a river and it starts to flow. I'm seeing that's the energy of your quantum rebirth. It's going to happen like water. Oh, with Death card as well, you could be actually going through a transformation in your appearance in some way with the first house. And Taurus, I feel like in your physical body, there's some kind of a transformation. It could be with your health or your energy levels, or you're just glowing, or you're looking really healthy, or something like this. I feel like, yeah, something about your appearance could be changing. Or maybe you're going to just like intentionally change your appearance. Now I'm seeing the sword. Maybe you're going to cut your hair in a certain way, or you're going to, get new clothes, like change up your style. I feel like there's something about this quantum rebirth that will definitely be seen in your body or in your physicality and the way you express yourself somehow. Like, it could be that you really feel a new, like, fashion sense come on and you can't help it. You just, like, get a new wardrobe and express yourself in a very different way. But it feels very authentic, but it feels like it's also honoring this new phase because it feels like you want to feel, I'm a different person, and other people are going to think, you're a different person. And you're going to be like, yeah, that's right. I mean, you're not a completely different person, but it feels like from one phase to another, you have almost shape shifted. Yeah, it feels like this quantum rebirth is also a glow up. I want to say a glow up in your finances as well, because I'm seeing you being able to buy yourself things for first house, like for the way your self image. Sometimes like if we can invest in, a really nice outfit, we can feel really, really good in that outfit and it can really help our self image and things like this. Like I'm feeling like on a basic level, like something about that is going to be taking place with this quantum rebirth where you're going to feel the urge to like, I don't know, buy yourself some really nice outfit or something. And then when you wear that, you feel like, so, you feel priceless. You feel so good. There's something about this where it's like you're cultivating more of this energy of self-care. Yeah, it could also be like a beautifying energy. You're investing in some kind of like beauty rituals or routines because it makes you feel really loved and cared for. Yeah, it feels really beautiful. Okay, so let's get you your cards. Tuning in. Wow, we have the Three of Swords. Yes. Look, death to the Three of Swords, really interesting. It's like the ending of some kind of really intense heartbreak that you went through. But you guys, I feel like this heartbreak, the way that I'm feeling it is not so much an acute heartbreak about a certain situation, although it could have been if that resonates. But I feel like this is more about a deeper level of heartbreak about the state of the world or the way that people's hearts aren't very open or the way that, I don't know, somewhere along the line, remember you internalized some kind of very critical, judgmental voice or some kind of belief systems around like people aren't very loving or they're not going to really be there for me in life. Things like this. I feel like, yeah, there's some really deep energy that you were clearing and healing. And now I'm noticing to believe in yourself. And there's something about, yeah, your beliefs have changed within yourself. Your beliefs within yourself have actually changed and been altered and modified. And that's actually going to show up. Like you're going to shapeshift. Your life is going to shapeshift and your appearance is going to change. It's very interesting. Like you're going to feel the urge to change your appearance somehow, or it's just going to happen naturally. And people are going to be like, you look so different. What's going on? Um, Whoa, let's get more information, Spirit. We have the Ace of Cups. Yes, again, the water, the way that this rebirth is coming through is like water. Didn't I say, you guys? My God. It's so perfect because the Ace of Cups is literally a new beginning in the element of water. Like, what? Yeah, so this is going to come in for you like water. I'm just going to move to the other side of the table so I can pull your other cards. Okay, so tuning in with group 3 spirit, their quantum rebirth that's here for them right now. What would you like them to know? The Six of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to be investing in yourself. You're going to be giving back to yourself, believing in yourself. I feel like you're going to be maybe spending money on yourself. Look, confirmation. The Ten of Pentacles. Woo! Oh, wow. Back of the deck as well, we have the Lovers and then the Queen. Look, they're both coming out. They're both coming out. Okay, I feel like you're going to be very, 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 very attractive. In this rebirth, people are going to be so magnetically drawn to you, but also like attracted to you. Friendship attraction, romantic attraction, all of the kinds of attraction I'm feeling is just across the board. Like so many people really drawn to this energy. And the reason is because when someone has the level of self-love that you do, that I'm tuning into right now, it is the most beautiful energy to be around because it has like codes within it where when someone is around you, they find ways of loving themselves more. They find their pathway back within their heart to their own sense of self-love. They learn about loving themselves more. But I also feel like this is something about your energy where you are really loving on yourself and you are really taking really good care of yourself. And that is really showing up in your energy field. spiritually, but also physically. Like I said, you're looking really well rested, you're looking really healthy, you're looking really like glowing. There's something about you that's shining. There's something about your energy where it's like it's like you have a little twinkle in your eye. There's some kind of like a secret that you've got because you're loving on yourself. So good. With the lovers coming out, actually, this could also be you attracting in a love relationship as well. Part of this quantum rebirth is like because you'll be feeling so good about yourself, feeling so good in your body and in, in just in kind of like going out into the world and like meeting people. I could see you meeting a friend, but especially I could see you meeting romantic love. I feel like, especially romance, like flirtation, charisma, all this kind of energy, you're going to just be feeling like people are going to literally see you as being like a 10 out of 10 with the 10 of Pentacles. That's what I'm seeing. It's like a 10 out of 10. They're gonna think you're just divine. Like there's something about you that is just like next level. Like there's just such an intense, undeniable sense of value that you're holding. And it's so interesting because it's all the currency of love. Like you are holding the currency of love and it is translating into your world big time. Like you're going to think that it's insane because you're going to realize that how true it is. That thing that people say is like what you believe about yourself is reflected in the way that people treat you and like the way that you attract things, like law of attraction kind of stuff. You're going to be like mastering law of attraction as well in this quantum rebirth because you're going to be realizing that the way that you think about yourself, the way that you self-talk, like your sense of self-love, your sense of giving yourself compliments, of feeling really good in your body and in yourself, like that manifests the world for you. That literally manifests everything you could have ever wanted. That manifests so much abundance for you in every area, like so much magnetic opportunities, people, places, things, everything. And you're going to realize that all of the key is always within. Like everything is within. Like all of your gifts and your talents, all of it is already within. You're going to realize your inherent value is like priceless. Like that there's just so much. The 10 of Pentacles is less like an inheritance, like a divine inheritance. This is your quantum rebirth. It's like you're receiving your divine inheritance and it's you really recognizing your sense of worth. It's like almost giving me the energy of, with like antiques or something where there can be something that kind of looks just, I don't know, like you just looks like a piece of furniture, but then if you find out that it's actually worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars because it's like this antique priceless thing, or like a crystal or something, like maybe like a diamond, it's all rough, but then actually like you find out it's priceless, like, it's a diamond. There's something here about this where for some reason it was kind of like hidden in some way. Three of Swords, it was hidden by some kind of relational trauma where people maybe were very critical or judgmental or like really didn't allow you to believe in yourself in the right kind of way. But it's like once you get to the other side of that, it's like your vision, first house, it's like the way that you see yourself changes so much. And you realize like, wait, what? This is who I've always been this whole time. I can't believe I never saw this, or I can't believe I ever doubted myself, ever. You might really resonate with the ugly duckling story as well. That might be something, some kind of archetype that you've gone through or been through in your life in some way. But I'm also feeling like with the lovers there is that I feel like there's something that's going to come in with this quantum rebirth that could be quite relational. Like I do feel like a love energy. You're either in a partnership already, or I really feel like one is coming in, some form of relationship to really nourish you. I feel like that is part of this rebirth because the lovers talks about mirroring between two souls. How when we are in a really like high level love, connection with somebody, that we mirror, each other, and we get to really see who we truly are, as well as seeing who our partner truly is. So there's something here about like really truly being seen and really truly being mirrored. And that's part of this quantum rebirth. And it's like, it's almost like spirits holding a mirror up to you and showing you this is who you are. And you're like, really? I had no idea that this is who I am. And spirit's like, that's right. And you're realizing that you're like this goddess energy, the divine feminine's coming through really strong in this reading, I have to say. It's like you're realizing that you've always been this. It's almost like I feel like something maybe Three of Swords, like someone maybe got in your head trying to tell you that you weren't this way, that you weren't this queen or this king in some way. Like there's something where there was a devaluing or something that happened. And it was almost like they were trying to tell you that, this diamond here is like, oh no, this diamond's worthless. It's just a lump of rock. It's nothing. And you're like, no, I really think there's something here, and that's what you had to hold on to, is that sense, that intuition of like, no, there's something more to this. And then it's like, you're sort of vindicated. You find out, yeah, this is going to make you like, a millionaire or something. It's that kind of energy. So there was a distortion, right, in your perception of yourself and in your perception of, the way that someone else maybe influenced your judgment of yourself. And then that has really dissolved like water, right? It's dissolved like water. It's like it's flowing out of you like water. And instead, you're realizing the truth. Like what remains is simply the truth, okay? It's like, oh, what remains is the truth. Once the illusion that was covering the truth leaves, what remains? Well, just the truth remains. And you're going to realize, like, whoa, I am so powerful. I am so valuable. I am so beautiful. I am so talented. And you're also going to realize, like, more talents than you even have at your disposal right now. Remember how I started the reading and I was like, I feel like you'll know access some kind of a hidden talent? Yes, I feel like you will. I feel like it could be psychic abilities with the water element that I'm feeling. It could be psychic abilities. It could be a hidden talent for being really loved. You're like, hey, I didn't realize how good I was at receiving love this whole time. I didn't realize, that I was holding myself back. It could be a hidden talent that makes you a lot of money. 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. I'm feeling like a very abundant energy. Okay. If you have had any issues with money, oh my God, that is so over for you. Okay. This quantum rebirth, oh my goodness me. If you have had any issues with money, you guys, that is so done. Okay. Especially if you've had issues with money, I feel like that message is really going to resonate, because for those of you, I feel like a lot of you may be in this group already making a lot of money or really doing really well. But if that is not resonating, then, well, you're about to make a lot of money. 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, the world. I mean, this is really like the Queen of Pentacles. Whoa. I mean, this is super powerful, you guys. And the Taurus actually first house. Whoa. It's just so many elements of this. It's coming from a place of love. That is your biggest key to success and abundance in this lifetime, is like so much self-love is going to unlock the whole entire world for you. For some of you as well, it could be psychic abilities coming through that make you like transform your job or your career in some way, or your intuition is going to get a lot stronger. Definitely for everyone here, your intuition is going to get stronger. Some of you, this intuition is actually going to somehow make you money, or you're going to channel something with this. But for a lot of you, this is just your intuition, like, because the energy has shifted. Your sense of yourself, your sense of love for yourself has shifted, and you're feeling much more in relationship with yourself. I'm feeling like there's a shift where you're in relationship with yourself instead of feeling alienated from yourself or disconnected from yourself. It's like there's a strong sense of connection, and this is the feeling of magnetism. It's almost like I'm seeing a plug, like I'm seeing like you plug in a light, and the light goes on. And it's like, that's the energy. I'm seeing you being plugged in. Like there's a constant source of electricity running through. There's a constant source of light and love within you. You're not feeling isolated or depleted or left out in the cold anymore. There's a real sense of love. And this is transforming your life like you would not believe, okay? Because everything comes from within first. So this sense of self-love, this level of self-love, it's changing your appearance, it's changing your finances, it's changing your relationships, it's changing the love that you manifest and that you allow yourself to receive on a daily basis, okay? It's changing your belief systems about yourself, your psychology. Oh, man. This is so, so powerful, you guys. If you really want to make use of this energy, I would totally recommend my tape, Quantum Rebirth. It would be a really great tape to work with to really like launch off at this time. It's a light language activation. I will link it down below and you can read more about it. But yeah, that's all the time we had for your messages. I really hope that it served you, and I'm sending you so much love and light for this quantum rebirth. Enjoy.